One of the most common threats found in the research against using video resumes was the potential of experiencing unconscious biases by recruiters related to ethnicity, age, gender, and ability. Not knowing the potential biases of those who will view your video resume could make you vulnerable to discrimination. This seems like a valid concern. But considering the common use of social media, even for professional purposes such as with LinkedIn, it doesn't take much for recruiters to do a little background check on candidates using social media. Social media, along with the emerging trend of asynchronous video interviews, highlights the need to create awareness and find workarounds for unconscious biases, not only for candidates, but more importantly, for recruiters. Another related threat was the perceived attractiveness or appearance of the job candidate. There's actually a term that I came across in the literature that relates specifically to companies hiring individuals based on their appearance and whether or not the candidate's appearance matched the image the company is trying to portray. This term is aesthetic labor. Certainly, aesthetic labor poses a threat to candidates whose appearance perhaps places them at a disadvantage for the job. Unlike unconscious biases where the recruiter may not even be aware of how their prejudices are affecting how they perceive candidates, with aesthetic labor, it is a conscious bias where the recruiter is actively looking for candidates whose image matches the company. Another potential threat of using a video resume is that it may not be well received by the employer. If a company hasn't embraced video interviewing or is maybe a bit old school with their hiring methods, they may not be as receptive to a video resume. Perhaps it won't be watched, or maybe even your on-camera presence doesn't click with the viewer. In the research literature, there are some conflicting results as to whether or not video interviews are a good predictor of a person's personality. While you may be making an effort to showcase your personality and communication style using video, there is the risk that it may not appeal to the viewer. Before we move on to the strengths and opportunities, take a moment to complete the weaknesses and threats quiz as a review of what we've discussed so far.